Can you ask your dad to confirm if the garden alien from the Alien Bodies subreddit is real? Is there another alien body floating around like the ones in Mexico? Let me take a peek. Alien Bodies? I'm unfamiliar with that subreddit. This looks like the thing from Harry Potter when they pull up like the screaming plant. This is thought-provoking. So is this a satire subreddit or is this like real? Different nostrils, but it appears to have the nipples. My god, it does. So we're not so different after all. Searching through these posts, but I don't understand what's going on here. Are people claiming this is a mandrake root and that the posters are all hoaxers? What are we looking at here? Obviously they, whatever they are, look visually interesting and sort of humanoid, but surely someone is not just sitting around with these things if they're actual biologics of some sort. First thing you do if you have actual bodies is you go straight to Ross Coulthart or George Knapp, I don't know who they are, not post it on Reddit and ask Redditors what they think it is. Not a match, the fingers look different. Where are the fingers on this thing? Forbidden potato. It does look potato-esque. It's definitely just some sort of prop. Like, this isn't... this isn't a fucking alien. There's no way. I do love the nipples on it, though. That is adorable. Muda made a video on this? How? What? Muda already made a video on this. When? Muda covered this in a 20-minute video. It was made by some guy who makes cursed items. Case closed. It's been a thing for days now. And nobody told me? You know I love this shit. What do you think real aliens would look like? I've said this 100 times and I'll say it 100 more. I think real aliens look insectoid. That is what I imagine. I don't think they will resemble anything close to humanoid. Not even remotely close. But would they have a cloaca? They probably wouldn't pee or poop. I don't know. Well, they'd have to. There has to be some way of getting out waste. Or maybe they're so efficient they don't have any waste. Hear about the U.S. Army pilot who allegedly spent 3 months on an alien mothership and even hung out with 2 of the aliens. Is it these 2 right here? And why wouldn't he give us more information? Like, why didn't they give him his their contact info? Look it up. His story sounds pretty legit, I swear. How does his story sound legit? He hung out with 2 aliens over the course of 3 months? Humans to find alien ruins soon, says ex-U.S. Army pilot who claims he spent 3 months on a UFO. Alex Collier, who served time as a helicopter pilot in the Army, claims he spoke to 2 aliens in the 1980s. A former United States Army helicopter pilot claims to have spent 3 months on an alien mothership and has said that humans will find ancient alien ruins in the universe soon. Alex Collier, I just read that. He allegedly spent time with aliens known as Andromedans, who were called Visasus and Moroani. This guy is writing fanfic. What the fuck? Why would they have human names? He wouldn't be able to understand them. What? They take a Rosetta Stone course or something to communicate with Alex? This man had a mental breakdown or a really bad ayahuasca trip. He insists his encounter with the aliens was so extraordinary that he was taken onto their spaceship. There he was forced to wear a special belt so the aliens could communicate with him over 3 months. Oh my god, that's so convenient. Yeah, I'm sure. They actually put the fucking Wumbo belt from SpongeBob on him. Amazing. The ex-pilot claims that this strange encounter happened in the 1960s when he was a child. He recounted that he fell asleep outside his grandfather's home while playing hide-and-seek. When he woke up, he found himself in a dark room where he met Visasus and Moroani. He spent nearly 3 months with them on the UFO as per his claim. However, that only transpired to 18 minutes in Earth time due to time dilation or alternate dimensions. He had a dream! he fell asleep. Yeah, you know what? I actually went to an alternate dimension last night. You guys wouldn't believe the shit I saw there. It was crazy. Shit was unreal. You can't prove that he's lying. I hate that argument. The alien duo apparently told him that humans are not alone in the universe and that there are many other alien races. During a talk he gave in Japan in 2007, he said, "Our science tells us that there are 100 billion galaxies, but we are only looking at one dimension. According to the Andromedans, there are 100 trillion galaxies, and every galaxy has life in it. We are far from being alone. The universe is vast. We are just beginning to travel space, and we are going to find ruins everywhere." Why would they communicate with a fucking child if they're trying to get a message to us? A random child. In the 1960s. This kid. He'll be the one. He'll be our vessel. He added, "I once asked the Andromedans how technologically advanced we were, and they said that the United States Army is 400 years more technologically advanced than we think they are." What does that mean? What? I once asked the Andromedans. I'm drawing a blank. They're communicating on an alternate dimension. This belt must have malfunctioned because there's no way that's a direct translation from Visasis. What does that mean? What does that mean? What? Then who thinks they are? Then the United States thinks they are? Then a child thinks they are? Then the aliens think they are? What is it? Who? It's in the military's interest to obfuscate. So the Andromedans are trying to reveal government secrets through a child. They don't know. They don't want us to know about Area 51, and Visasis was trying to protect us. Visasis, one of the aliens, allegedly told Mr. Collier that humans are the only race on Earth that use money. No shit! We're the only race on Earth that use money? We're the only race on Earth that's fucking sentient! We're the only race on Earth, like the only species that does that. Of course. Do you mean the universe? Is Visasis illiterate? Did he just get, like, abducted by two dumb aliens, like actual idiots? Like fucking morons in their galaxy? From that moment on, Visasis would only refer to money as paper with pictures on it. Jesus, he's a pretentious Redditor. He got abducted by the worst aliens the galaxy had to offer. Or rather, the dimension had to offer. Probed a little too deep. Yeah, they went way too far on that one. We lost them. Octopus use currency to pay for things? I guess I don't know enough about how octopi function in the wild, but they're not using money. How about that? Maybe they use some kind of currency for trade, but they're not using the USD or the euro or rubles or anything. They're using fucking octopus tokens. What do you even find down there? Can we get Charles Sr. to firsthand explain to us in chat how pyramids are made by aliens? My dad and I have been really we have been talking about that so much recently. He really wanted me to watch Ancient Aliens pyramid episode, so I did. That was so fucking silly, it was unreal. So then I ended up doing a deep dive on some more Ancient Aliens, and I ended up showing him one of the episodes where they thought that, what was it? Aliens were crossbreeding with robots, and Sasquatch was actually an alien or something. A YouTuber named Gabby Bell also made a video on it too. But I started showing him like how ridiculous some of the Ancient Aliens episodes and concepts were. And he's like, yeah, oh, that's super stupid. That's all a bunch of bullshit and a bunch of mumbo jumbo. But the pyramids, they're absolutely right about. They know their shit when it comes to the pyramids. I'm like, Dad, what the fuck? 99% of the things they say you disagree with, but the one thing there you think they nailed is the pyramids being built by aliens? He's like, yep, oh, absolutely. They know their shit there. It's sad how ancient humans are so much underestimated. I tried to tell him that. My dad really believes that ancient civilization was just a bunch of fucking bumbling fools. He's like, there's no way they were smart enough to even know what a pyramid would be. And I'm like, Dad, they weren't dumb. They weren't stupid. Like, we came from them. Like, they obviously had some level of advancements. Like, there's so many good astronomers back in the day. Like, they were smart. Like, they were smart people still. He's like, nope. Dummies. Bunch of dummies. And, like, the reason pyramids got built in the first place is because a pyramid is, like, the most structurally sound structure you can make, which is why there's so many all over the world from ancient civilizations. But he refused to take that answer. He's like, nope, they wouldn't know that. Aliens taught them that. I'm like, damn it, Dad. No, they didn't. Didn't someone make a really primitive computer in Greece or something? You're talking about it is Greece. You're talking about the oh, what's it called? What was the name of it? Yep, here it is. The Antikythera mechanism. Our society could look a lot different today if this was able to continue to be built upon. This is an extremely advanced piece of tech from back in the day. I remember we watched something on this a long time ago. Does it use Windows? No, it's Linux based. This shit was crazy. I recommend checking it out, looking into it a bit. I think it was the BBC that made something on it. Flintstones tech. Hey, it was some sophisticated Flintstones tech though, brother. Imagine ancient humans were able to build 4090s. I really think society today would look so different if this was able to keep being advanced. It was way ahead of its time. It's time you and I have a very important talk. Might be an awkward discussion, but it's a very significant one in every person's life. The old birds and ETs. We need to discuss aliens a little more in depth because there's a lot of misinformation floating around about what I believe in when it comes to these beautiful cosmic bastards out there, and, well, I want to set the record straight. All of you know, my dad loves aliens. I'd argue he's one of the biggest alien enthusiasts in this country right now. And he's very passionate about this topic. So am I. I am also very passionate about aliens, but more so because I find a lot of the theories that pop up about aliens visiting us, and here's UFO footage, and it's just like this poorly photoshopped image of two colanders stacked on top of each other, wiggling around in 240p, and it's black and white and just blurry out the wazoo. They're like, no, it's real footage of a UFO flying around. Like, I laugh at that kind of stuff. Or like the alien bodies that keep being discovered. Like the fucking potato alien from 3 days ago, where people were convinced there was an alien in someone's garden because they had this like interdimensional cosmic abortion that just plopped into their garden. They're like, look, finally, irrefutable proof to convince all the doubters. We got an alien body. And it just looks like a shriveled up mushroom with nipples on it. Like, that does not look like an alien at all. And you also have to ask yourself the question, if an alien race is advanced enough to reach Earth, it means they've cracked faster than light travel, one, so they're already well beyond our comprehension technologically. How the fuck would they just crash land here and end up in someone's garden? Do they just come to Earth to die? Like, alright, we'll take the space cruiser out. I'm looking for a good place to just die. I'll choose Earth, and this one random person's garden seems like a nice spot. It just doesn't make sense. It's not like it's just going to be some freak accident where they crash into Earth and die, and our weaponry certainly wouldn't be effective against something that technologically advanced if they're able to visit us. It's just illogical. Like, that kind of stuff makes me laugh. So when it comes to aliens, I'm very passionate because the comical nature of it is unmatched, really. But I do still firmly believe there's alien life out there in the universe. It's too big for there not to be, in my opinion. I just firmly don't think they have ever visited Earth. Ever. My dad does not agree. We don't see eye to eye when it comes to aliens. My dad is a firm believer that aliens have not only visited our planet, but helped us evolve and advance, all the way back into ancient times. He is a big proponent of ancient aliens. And while I too am an enjoyer of ancient aliens, it's for an entirely different reason. It's because I think it is very entertaining because of how outlandish it is. Meanwhile, my father subscribes to the belief that Ancient Aliens is right on the money when it comes to, like, aliens building pyramids and Puma Punku and all of that kind of stuff. So I just want to set the record straight. I believe aliens are out there. I feel like you'd be a fool to think that we're alone in the universe. I just really have seen no compelling evidence that convinces me they've ever visited Earth in any way, shape, or form. But my dad very much disagrees. And he wants to do some kind of, like, panel where he tries to, like, really convince me of it. Like, he wants to put together, like, a video showcase of it, which I've encouraged him to do because I think it'd be amazing. But we haven't done that yet. I also went a little bit deeper on stream about, like, my dad's alien beliefs versus mine, so I'm just going to go ahead and play those clips. I just don't want there to be any more confusion, because I keep seeing people say that I don't believe in aliens or something, or on the other side of the spectrum, people saying that I believe aliens helped us build the pyramids and fucking blessed us with fiber optic internet or something, like all kinds of different things, because wires are getting crossed here, because my dad talks about aliens so much, and I talk about my dad talking about aliens so much, and then everything just gets all, you know, confuddled into like this, you know, knowledge soup. So I just wanted to make it very clear here. But anyway, here's the stream clips that go a little more in depth. it's kind of already been cracked, but he just doesn't believe the official explanation because my dad, he's like an engineer, and he just really doesn't believe that people back then would be able to make these cuts on these blocks. And that's the thing he harps on a lot. He just really thinks people back then were stupid as fuck. He really does. He thinks not only were they stupid, they just didn't have tools to make cuts on stone. Well, at least cuts like this on stone. The H blocks. So how did they do it? According to my dad, the aliens did it for him. He doesn't have an explanation as to why. He just thinks the aliens came down here and just fucking started carving H on these blocks. He doesn't really have like a reason as to why. He just says, well, we can't know, they're smarter than us. And I'm like, damn, that's such an easy cop-out. If aliens did help make it, why the hell would they only use stone and not give early humans advanced metal or something similar? Are they stupid? That's what I said. Like, we're just... I'm basically just reliving, like, our arguments that we have back and forth. And they're not arguments, like, they're good-spirited. But, like, I always say, if the aliens did this, why? And he just says, well, we can't know, they're smarter than us. Okay. And then I say, if aliens did this, why are they still using primitive shit? You could have easily made this out of, like, metals or something. And usually what he'll say is the aliens wanted to teach humans how to do it, to help them advance or something along those lines. And I'm like, if they wanted to do that, why didn't they leave any other messages or instructions? And he says they did. It's called the pyramids. They're perfectly aligned with Orion's belt. It's their message to us. And I say, what is that message? He's like, well, we don't know. They're smarter than us. We can't possibly know. And I'm like, well, it's a fucking very ineffective message then, isn't it? I used to watch Ancient Aliens back in the day, bro. The shit they come up with is hilarious. They unironically said the Bible story about Jonah being swallowed by a whale is false. He was actually abducted by an alien submarine. We talked about that yesterday. Yeah, my dad fully disavows 99% of Ancient Aliens, but really believes that they know their shit when it comes to the pyramids. And I guess Pumapunku by extension, because they covered that. They have a whole goddamn episode on, like, Sasquatch being an alien, or dropped off by aliens or something. I already forgot. Have you heard of the Intergalactic Federation? That's kind of part of the secret space program. They're adjacent. But yes, I am familiar. This even got referenced in 2020, if you guys remember this. Former Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it. He said, a galactic federation has been waiting for humans to reach a stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are. So this kind of kicked that whole thing off. What's the most heated alien argument you had with your dad? I don't know. Heated's just not the right word, because it's always comical. Like, we're usually both giggling, but he's very passionate about it. So I guess he kind of gets heated. He'll start, like, really, like, raising his voice about it. He's like, Charlie, I built cars for fucking 50 years. I know engineering. The people back then didn't have the tools or the fucking brain power to build the pyramids. It's simple engineering, son. When are you gonna stop being so stupid? But, like, he's not being mean about it. He's just getting, like, really animated. Speaking of Ancient Aliens, remember that episode where they said giraffes used to have short necks? Blame it on the aliens? Or am I on crack? That sounds like Ancient Aliens. There was even a whole meme for a while that was passed around Reddit where they had Sukalos, who my dad fucking loves. Before I, like, watched more Ancient Aliens outside of the homework he assigned me with the Pyramids episode, my dad was like, Charlie, you gotta look at this guy. His name is Giorgio Sukalos. He knows his shit. And then it turns out he's the guy from all the memes where he does this and it just says, aliens. He's that guy. And I felt almost shame. I was like, Dad, no. Not Sukalos. This can't be your expert source. It can't be. And sure enough, it was. And Sukalos is like the worst offender of just blaming everything on aliens. So in the pyramid episode, I think it was Sukalos, there was like a speculation like, this pyramid didn't have a tomb in it. So then why was it the way that it was? And Sukalos comes in and said, well, it's because they were communicating directly with aliens in the intergalactic cosmos far, far away. And he's like, well, do you have a source for that? Like, that's quite a leap. Like, how do you know that? Sounds like he's just messing with you. Doesn't sound like he actually believes it. No, 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 no. No, you couldn't be more wrong. Since I was a child, my dad has been on the aliens and pyramids. I remember being a baby boy, a toddler, and my dad would try and have these profound talks with me where he'd sit me down and be like, listen, son, it might not be this year, it might not be 10 years, it might not be 20 years, but one day, you're gonna see, we're gonna find out that the aliens built those fucking pyramids. We will learn that the aliens helped us advance in our primitive stages. Like, I remember as far back as my brain will allow me that he has always been on that. Since day one. He's committed to the joke. It's not a joke to him, I'll tell you right now. Even tonight he texted me. He's like, so I see you talked about those stupid garden alien potato things or whatever. What did he say again? You say, what's that new alien vid? Bunch of bullshit. You gotta do one about Puma Punku. Love you. That was at 8:23. He is always on alien mode. You know what it is? I talked about this on stream. I'll mention it again. I think what happened is my dad, when he was a teenager, he always like believed that, like, he just really, because my dad is, like I said, he does so much engineering and has his whole life. He just really can't wrap his head around people back then being able to make like sophisticated stuff like pyramids and fucking giant H's, I guess. And I think he probably for a while harbored this belief that it must have been the aliens because it's so advanced, but was probably more open-minded to it, like to being proven wrong, like, hey, no, that's not what happened and here's how they did it, which we have a lot of evidence to support a lot of theories on how these things were made. But what happened, what really cemented him in this way, is my dad's roommate was a U.S. Army lieutenant? No. Major? I think it was a major. I can't remember the order. But he was a pretty high-ranking like a person in the military, and he worked at a MacDill Air Force Base, which is a huge Air Force base in Tampa. And they were roommates for the longest time. Even like after leaving the military, they remained roommates, remained very close. And he was an alcoholic, unfortunately. Very sad set of circumstances. He was not in a good way. But my dad swears by this story that he was telling the truth. One day, his roommate came back, fucking blasted, per usual, and he told my dad that, that day on the base, they had recovered an alien corpse, and that MacDill Air Force Base had an alien body there. And my dad swears by it, fucking swears by it, that he wasn't being lied to. He was in his right mind enough to reveal that information. Like, he's usually very tight-lipped. This isn't something he would normally do. It probably rattled him to the core. And I think that was the moment the switch was flipped in my dad's brain where it's like, okay, I'm right. The aliens are here, and they've been here. I think that's what happened. When really, what I think happened is the guy had a lot of mental problems, alcohol abuse, a lot of terrible things, and I think it may have just been associated with that. I don't think they actually had a fucking alien body on the base. You gotta find that guy and see if he was telling the truth. Well, I need a Ouija board for that because he's dead. Yeah, he passed away. So that information is, that's with him now, in the afterlife. The aliens got him. He knew too much. That's probably what it was. Thanks for the gift sub, Couch. What kind of information do you think was lost in the Library of Alexandria? You don't think the Egyptians had sophisticated tools? Well, hey, what the fuck? I have been firmly on the side of the people back then were still very smart, very resourceful, and actually had a very good understanding of, like, tools and all of that. They had the means at their disposal to make these things. Wait, you're barking up the wrong tree. I'm on your side. Thanks for the resub, Hubie. But as for the Library of Alexandria, God only knows what information was lost in that. They had Stanleys back then. Yeah, they probably fought wars over Stanley Cups back then. I did more research on Sukalos. Motherfucker unironically said Excalibur was an alien laser weapon. That does sound about par for the course. That's the Giorgio Tsoukalos I've come to know. Archaeology degree checking in. The thing with Pumapunku is simply we have not found the tools they used. Look up Cyclopean masonry. Ancient Greeks and Romans saw these walls of huge, perfectly fit stones and figured, surely only Cyclops could have built this. 1,000 years later, we figured out what tools they used and decided the OG theory was cringe. Well, from what I recall, and it's been years since I bothered digging into Pumapunku, they actually did find the molds for tools they used to carve out the H blocks, and the tools, like the molds, what they were making, would be able to make those cuts. So I don't think there's a lot of mystery left to it, from what I remember. You ever wonder if there was a case that we did see actual proof of alien life but just wrote it off as fake because it looked so unbelievable? I don't think anything that the general public has ever seen was alien, like real alien life. But I do think there's probably been like maybe something through like one of the, like, I don't know, maybe the James Webb Telescope or something that they've seen. It's like, oh, that's like actual alien life that they just haven't published. That's what I think. I don't think there's anything layman like you and I would have seen. Does your dad believe in the Men in Black? If so, what are his thoughts on them? No. The statistics of there not being alien life is unfathomably higher than the statistics of there not being life. The chances of us intersecting is also astronomical. I've said a million times, I firmly, truly believe there's alien life out there. I just don't think it has ever crossed paths with Earth. I really don't think that's happened. Ever. Do you by chance know about the signal that came from space in 1977 that we never really found out where it came from? Oh my god, not the fucking WoW signal again. We're not going down this shit. We're not doing this again. We've already covered the fucking WoW signal. Not again. Next we're gonna get into warp drives or some goofiness. No more. No more. We've barked up that tree plenty. Have you heard of Teotihuacan? It's an ancient city in Mexico that ancient aliens believe is an alien computer. Their proof is that it looks kind of like a circuit board. I'll be the judge of that. I know my way around circuit boards. I'm guessing this one is the most circuit board-esque. Maybe there's a reason why aliens don't visit, like what can they do with a bunch of old dinosaurs? Thanks for some spaghetti. There's just so many different ways you can toss around that thought experiment. I just think faster than light travel is probably just not cracked by any life right now, would be my guess. And even if it was, I don't think they would touch us. They just be no reason to. They wouldn't need anything from us. If they have faster than light travel, we can offer them nothing. Except memes. And OnlyFans, I guess, if they don't have that in their world. Search the Teotihuacan alien computer. It shows a comparison with a real circuit board. I didn't need more convincing. I already bought in, but sure. Those bastards. They hid their circuit board in plain sight. And they thought they'd get away with it. They thought they were slick. Don't show this to your dad. I don't think my dad would believe in that one. Though I wonder if I, like, dressed it up well enough. Like, Dad, you know, we may not see eye to eye on all the pyramids and stuff, but what do you think about Teotihuacan alien computers? And he'd probably hit me with question marks and be like, check this out. I saw this today, and it turns out this entire place is a giant alien circuit board. And I bet he'd be like, I told you! I knew it! I'd maybe just need to put it in the right context. Because I feel like if I just came at him like, what do you think of this? He'd be like, it's kind of baloney. But if I let in like, I'm starting to believe it, he'd probably be like, okay, this might be some good shit. You gotta start making up your own conspiracies to convince him, hire some artists to create some fake images for you. That's just diabolical. That is something I wanted to do on Facebook. I think it was about 5 years ago. And I was getting pretty serious about it. I was drumming up my own conspiracy, and I was going to hire some artists to start putting together like a lot of material for it, and I was going to start spreading fake conspiracies on Facebook for fun. But I ended up not doing it. There are many planets that look like they can support alien life. What do you think they'd look like? Again, insectoid. I said it yesterday. I think they'd look insectoid. Like, I don't think they'd be fuckable. I don't think they'd be hot. I think they'd just look like bugs. Did you hear that the Las Vegas alien body cam video is apparently legit, according to expert examiners? Who are the expert examiners? Hey, this is my Uncle Steve. He said this shit is super real. Like, who do you even call in? The scientist from Independence Day that gets strangled to death? Yeah, they didn't even contact my father, so I already doubt these experts. Las Vegas alien videos previously missed detail proves authenticity, expert says. You can't deny it. Watch me. Boy, do I have some cold water to throw in your face, expert. Let me take a peek. Oh my god, wait, it's this old one. It's the old one. This whole load of baloney. This load of barnacles. He's still on this. I thought this was new. You mean this load of proof? True, right, sorry. The irrefutable evidence. After, of course, the 20 ads that I get here. I'll get to it soon.
I was on the other side. I was helping my dad to clean the...
On that side of the house?
On the other side, yeah, in the backyard. So we're working on a truck. We work on a truck and we were checking... Okay. So we're working, we were cleaning everything, put everything inside the little garage we have. Me and my brother, we just looked.
What's the detail that we all missed?
Yeah, me and him side.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious.
Can we go that side? I want to spend
Yeah, we can go look. No, any dogs or anything?
Is there something over there? Was that the missing detail? What's? Oh my god, what is this format? I paused the video and then there's like 7 videos just surrounding it. I just wanted to rewind.
Not gonna let me sleep tonight.
Oh yeah, I bet. I wouldn't be sleeping either.
Alright, so what was the missing detail there? Was there some kind of alien warp drive parked in the backyard somewhere? Just scooted in sideways? When a Las Vegas family told police they saw something not human in their backyard, they were not lying. A veteran crime scene recreation expert said. Scott Roeder of Evidence Room Animation and Exhibits used his expertise and motion tracking software to analyze the video of a purported UFO crash landing in Sin City in April 2023. He told News Nation they tried to debunk the responding officer's body cam footage or prove something was added to the video. Now he said he is convinced there were 2 creatures creeping around the family's Las Vegas yard that night. All of our results came back as authentic, Roeder said. There's no editing. That is an original video. What do we, am I misremembering? Where are the 2 creatures? Is it this one? Are they here? A tall, skinny alien creature with greenish color.
This is you. And this is us.
The man's being hunted by Piccolo, I guess. I don't remember that in the body cam. Because I remember the incident, but I don't even remember the greenish tall guys. So that's the footage? Let me see it again. Enhance. How do you have something that looks this blurry in 2024? This? These glow-in-the-dark neon props from mini golf? Is this them? Why are they this color? Are they inflicted with gamma radiation? Or is it this one, which is even blurrier somehow? What is he using for a security camera here? A Motorola Razr? Jesus Christ, I can't see anything. Is this proof somewhere?
This is around the neighborhood. So here's the video.
So it's the audio. Why would it do that? I guess if it was really mad if they crash landed, like, fuck! And then he kicks a trash can.
¡Ay! ¡Permisor! Calmundarela, me canceles var eso. Cáelo, cherro, que chitica. Cáelo, cherro.
Are they in the sand? Did they bury underneath? Like a little crab? What am I looking at? What am I looking for? Are they in the RV? Maybe I missed something important in the sand. Hold on, what does he say about it?
But Metro...
So they went in the backyard and one of the officers pointed at the floor and it was a perfect circle. Here's a photo of the circle I'm referring to.
Who gives a fuck? And that is the furthest thing from a perfect circle I've ever seen. That's very oblong. That's like edamame shaped.
Come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
Yeah, this is all old. I remember all of these. So what is the irrefutable proof that we missed? I don't understand. So this guy ran simulations to prove that there were aliens in his backyard that night? What kind of fucking simulations? Did he go in Blender and make a game out of it? Like, what do you mean? Roeder pored over the footage and watched it over and over until he finally spotted what he missed every time. 2 beings in the video at the same time, he told News Nation's show Banfield. Using motion tracking software that zeroes in on the source of motion, Roeder said he attached motion to a figure in the background to show that the movement of the shadow reflects the movement of a body that is attached to the head. We don't believe it's a floating head. We believe it's attached to a body, and the motion of that head from right to left is consistent with the motion that we see between the slats of the fence. The story has been fiercely debated since the streaks of lights lit up Las Vegas sky April 30th, 2023. Alright, let's take a peek at the irrefutable evidence that we all missed.
So this is a very slowed down screen recording I took, and I know everybody is trying to find the aliens in front of these guys, but I noticed something insane, and I want everybody, my 2 friends who will watch this, to take a look down, pay attention to 2 areas. We're going to look down here on the bottom right behind their fence and right up there, but we're going to first start down here because I found something crazy. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to what I believe is the creepiest part of this video. And I'm going to point out 2 things you need to pay attention to right here, which is the head. And if you look really close, there's actually a shiny black eye.
It's that alien that pops out of that dude's chest in Total Recall. He's here.
Hand. That, I believe, is some creature, non-human, crouching down. And that was its eye I just pointed at. And I want you to pay attention to what appear to be fingers running up the fence, as if it's kneeling down or something and peering out. And then there you go. See the fingers? And I think I go back and forth a couple times here, but it looks to me like...
Yeah, it's massaging the wood.
There's a little other, or a big creature looking through the fence on the bottom there, crouched down.
Whoa, this is irrefutable.
And then there's the fingers going right up.
How did we miss it?
Down, up and down. Just looks like almost a human hand crawling up the fence. And at the very beginning you see... You get it.
Well, now I feel like a damn fool after seeing
what's really
this.
Interesting about this is,
I'm assuming this isn't what Scott Roeder is saying is like irrefutable, completely authentic. Because apparently this guy's some kind of expert, and I don't think that would be the video. Because that is the stupidest shit I've seen in a minute. So where is Scott Roeder's video?
To another episode of Surviving the Survivor.
It is a fact that one man could not have made those 3 shots. It's a fact that John F. Kennedy was shot from the front, right, not the back. If you know how bullets react, you know that when a bullet goes into the brain or into the body or into the tissue, it creates a smaller hole on the entrance and a bigger...
What does that have to do with the aliens? Is he claiming aliens helped assassinate John F. Kennedy? I really want to believe that that's the angle he's taking. I'm going to rewind briefly. We are so off course now, but I have to know if he's blaming that on aliens.
All right, Scott. Let me jump in 1 second. So, Scott, is your claim? And I don't want to stay on this because I really we were delivering UFOs.
It's a ridiculous argument. I mean,
you
got to come to me more with
Scott. Do you believe there were 2 shooters? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, okay. Damn, it's not about aliens. Fuck, that would have been amazing if he's like, listen. If you analyze the Zapruder film, frame by frame, you're going to see 5 extraterrestrials touch down and blast them with a ray gun. It's right there. We used our motion tracking software to confirm it.
Which I found initially, and I didn't even see or recognize the being or whatever it is above the fence.
Then you're a damn fool. I recognized it right away.
It was pointed out to me by a subscriber to a friend of mine's podcast. But once you see it, you can't deny it. So there's actually 2 beings in the video at the same time.
Where is his video? Once you see it, you can't deny it. Well, show it to me so I can stop denying it. Where is it? This is like the most nothing fucking video of all time. Like, actually, it is like the most fucking nothing video to hyperanalyze. Oh, we talked... So here's good news for the alien enthusiasts. While there's still no evidence of aliens having visited us anytime recently, there is evidence from a Cambridge scientist who found the markers of life on an exoplanet, I think it was 50 light years from us. What was it, disulfur monoxide or something? And it's only found from life, I believe. Yeah, I think it was disulfur monoxide. I already fucking forgot. But whatever they found is only present in life. Only produced from life forms. So, that's big news. That's very hype. It was 140 light years? Oh, I thought it was 50. Whatever. That's still cool.
We can take a video and look at whether or not there is an artificial artifact added to it or not. And in this case,
Why are you having this alien teabag these gentlemen? What in the fuck does that prove?
Can definitively say, to a degree of scientific certainty, that this entity, this thing in the video, is there in the physical reality in which the Kenmore family is also there. Like, this is so critical because you can clearly see through the slots in the fence that there is a leg motion moving from the right to the left side of the screen. And clearly it is behind there. It's just what you were able to determine, that this shadow being, or this being...
Did he, like, boost the shadow? Because now I can see the shadow for the fucking first time. Let me go back to, like, an old one now. I can finally see that shadow that they're losing their mind about. So he must have really, like, bumped it up so it was more visible.
In the shadows, possibly creating its own shadow, or smoky filter, or cloaking technique.
Technique? You think this guy he's like participating in the Chunin exams? He's using ninjutsu? Cloaking technique, brother, it'd be like cloaking tech, and I don't think it'd be casting a shadow. That'd be really inefficient. That'd be like the worst cloaking tech ever. Turn yourself into like a new character in Super Smash Brothers you haven't unlocked yet.
But cloaking itself from the camera itself, in that it's minimizing our ability to identify pixels inside of that shadow.
Her face really says it all.
I don't detect anything overt as a red flag that I would say that made me suspect that it was edited.
I'm so curious. Why would it... Let's just assume he's 100% right. Why the fuck would an 8-foot alien just be walking around, stop at this fence, look at the camera, and then walk away? What? He probably would just leave the scene. He's probably like super tight that his Turbo Cosmo space cruiser crashed into a fucking backyard. He would be upset. He wouldn't be calm. While most of you were sleeping soundly in your beds, having wet dreams, I was up tossing and turning all night, just eagerly waiting, like a kid on Christmas morning, for what the Pope was about to say in regards to aliens. If you're confused by that statement, it shows me that you're already so naive and it makes me sick. You're living in the dark. The deep state's controlling your mind and it's time you break free. And let me be the guiding light to get you there. The Vatican had scheduled a live stream where they were going to go over supernatural phenomenon and even aliens themselves, potentially, according to many headlines. The live stream was slated for this morning, and as of 2 hours ago, that live stream happened. I don't want to get into spoilers, but this was universe-shattering shit. Let me first lay down the groundwork for the lore about what the live stream was supposed to pertain to, then I'll give you the debriefing on what happened. Here the Pope is going to be holding a live press conference tomorrow to talk about aliens. We live in the golden age of aliens right now. The Pope is talking about aliens? Pope set to hold press conference on aliens and supernatural. This is what I'm talking about! It's about time! Let's see what the Pope had to say about the aliens. Okay, never mind. The Pope is demanding that I pay the sun. What is this? This is so ridiculous. A word from Larry Kudlow, and that word is go fuck yourself, I guess. I hate modern journalists. I'm not paying just for access to a fucking article that you probably lifted from the tweets anyway. It's a radio station. That's what it seems like. 99.9. The Pope station. This one's tuned directly into God. Did you hear Jesus is going to be making a guest appearance at the Pope's press conference? Can you imagine that lineup? This would be like Coachella, but for religion. The Pope, Jesus, aliens, all we need next is Job. That'd be a wild lineup. They would go so hard. The Vatican is scheduled to release documents pertaining to the supernatural and other phenomena, and others are suggesting even about aliens. What's going to happen? According to the National Catholic Reporter, documents will be released that were prepared by 3 investigators. The document is set to explain the new norms considered by the dicastery for the doctrine of the faith about such issues. They have 3 Vatican investigators? Who are they? Is it like Russell Crowe from The Exorcist? Was that more of like a documentary than anything? What is this? The dicastery for the doctrine of faith. This is I'm very new here. Here's the Holy Father tab. Okay. The last time a report like this was released was in 1978. The Vatican has now prepared papers that share the Pope and the Church's guidelines when it comes to things like apparitions and supernatural phenomena. Social media sites, blogs, and others interested in the discovery of the possibility of the existence of aliens and the proof thereof have been buzzing on different platforms, speculating about what will be put forth in the papers. A few media outlets are hinting that there would be something earth-shattering at the news conference, but that doesn't seem like the case. Tomorrow's press conference will be live-streamed, and the press conference will be led by Cardinal Victor Manuel Fernandez, who will speak about the Church's view on various items like apparitions and supernatural phenomena. In addition, the doctrine does comment on the Church's view about faith concerning aliens. Why? It's an easy explanation. According to the National Catholic Reporter, it is being done so after a surge in reporting of aliens and supernatural phenomena from the mainstream media. Okay, so this just sounds like they're going to say, like, yeah, if there are aliens, they're, like, totally Catholic. Like, we're, like, completely fine with that. It doesn't seem like they're putting forth their own evidence of their existence, more so about their perspective on aliens versus the faith. That's a lot less hype than I was expecting. I thought the Pope was going to come out there with, like, a fucking alien head, slap it on the desk, and be like, yep, here they are. And this is the proof. I'll watch the live stream, but I'm not expecting anything earth-shattering here from the Pope press conference. What time is it? I'll set an alarm so I can be there right on time so I don't miss anything. 12 p.m. Like Eastern? 12 p.m. what? Central? 12 p.m. Pope time? Like, I don't... What does he operate on? Okay, not even the Reddit's all that pumped. Yeah, I'm not expecting much, so I guess we'll see. I'd love to be pleasantly surprised. The Pope podcast about aliens? Well, it's more than a podcast. He's going full-blown live stream. I don't know if it's on Kick, Rumble, or maybe they have their own dedicated service. Do you think the Pope will talk about the Kendrick versus Drake beef? I know we gathered you all here about, like, supernatural apparitions, aliens, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Chupacabra, gnomes, goblins, whatever, but let's talk about the Kendrick versus Drake beef for a second, huh? Isn't that shit crazy? Well, aliens are definitely real. 100%. There's aliens out there. I think you'd be a fool to think we're alone in the universe. I just know that they're not here. And I don't think they ever have been. Maybe, like, aliens scanned us at one point. I think maybe that has, like, a slim chance. They got us with, like, a fucking UAV after a 3-kill streak somewhere in the cosmos. But other than that, nah, I highly fucking doubt aliens have ever been here. People always misconstrue my stance on aliens. I 100% believe... It's more than a belief. I know aliens are out there. I just really am... I also know they haven't been here. I don't really feel like reading all this. Why in the fuck would aliens be traveling across the galaxy in the golden snitch from Harry Potter? Like, this looks like a Christmas bell. Like, what is this needle? Like, this is... I mean, this is like steampunk almost. You can't be serious. There's no way. Well, can't argue with that. The Vatican Alien E3 showcase has concluded. It was about 2 hours long, and I have no fucking idea what they were saying. There's no subtitles that were available for it, So I had to wait for it to be translated by others so it could be fed to me, baby birded, just vomited into my mouth about what was discussed. And the answer couldn't have been more underwhelming. This was like the Willy Wonka experience, but for adults. It's so fucking lame. Basically, they just came out with these set of rules and guidelines that would help people avoid being the victim of scams and hoaxes. So, since alien sightings and UAPs and all types of supernatural phenomena are being reported so frequently, and a lot of times, well, every single time pretty much, it's all from bad actors fraudulently just using this as a way of making money off it or generating headlines. The Vatican decided to come forward and tighten its grip, just get like this titty twister on it, and let people know, from now on, only a pope rather than local bishops can declare apparitions and revelations to be supernatural. So that's a pretty vague term, that's kind of all-encompassing, so if you see like a light in the sky that you can't quite explain, you can now no longer write it off as aliens or try and portray it as something other than, well, that was a weird light, until a pope comes forward and says, yep, that shit was freaky. That one's going in the alien logbook, son. So, from now on, only a pope has the power to declare something as supernatural. And this is basically just patch notes to their previous guidelines issued in 1978. And the reason they did this is to crack down on people falling victim to bullshit baloney. So, as mentioned here, some cases of supernatural phenomena were exploited for profit, power, and personal interest, or even a pretext for exerting control over people or carrying out abuse. There's a quote here that says, "The possibility of believers being misled by an event that is attributed to a divine initiative but is merely the product of someone's imagination, desire for novelty, tendency to fabricate falsehoods, or inclination towards lying." So overall, this press conference was about announcing these new rules which aim to streamline the process of declaring something truly supernatural, so that way people can avoid being scammed as frequently as they have been. So for everyone like me who wanted this press conference to have like eye-opening new information about aliens or anything supernatural, we were left high and dry, dick in hand, with nothing to eat here. This breakfast that they served up was a fucking nothing omelet, unfortunately. I mean, it's cool that they're doing something to try and crack down on people using supernatural sightings to exploit people. Like, yeah, that's obviously a good thing to try and, tighten the screws on. But damn, the way that the media hyped this up really had me and many others believing that this might be something big. Like the Pope comes forward, like, pyrotechnics are going off, smoke shooting, they start playing the Undertaker WWE walkout music, and the Pope approaches the mic, flips down a pair of sunglasses, and says, "We're not alone." But that's not what we got from the live stream. Maybe one day, I guess we'll see, but yeah. That's the most recent alien update in the world. I keep my finger on the pulse of anything extraterrestrial, so yeah, anyway, that's about it. So yeah. See, Harvard published a study saying aliens may be living on Earth disguised as humans. I saw. It's not like a real thing, though. It's like a theory. But based on actually nothing besides, like, maybe they are. There's membership first. I haven't read the whole thing, though. Just little bits and pieces here. Let me pull it up. Aliens may be living among us disguised as humans, claims Harvard study. Recent Harvard University study has revealed that aliens might be living among us probably underground or on the moon. Please get this garbage off my screen. The Human Flourishing Program of Harvard University also stated that UFOs might be alien spaceships that are visiting to meet their alien friends living on Earth. Man, this sounds so real. Maybe the aliens come here because they have so many friends that they want to stop by and say hello to. So obviously the most efficient way of doing that is flying all the way across the goddamn universe in order to see their friends in person and say hi. More commonly referred to as UFOs and extraterrestrial beings could be living underground on the moon or even walking among humans. The research also explores the idea that UFOs are unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP. Paper also states that the author is aware of the depth of evidence and theory that also tentatively support another extraterrestrial explanation, the cryptoterrestrial hypothesis, linking UAP activity to the action of hidden non-human entities. Where is the evidence? Or anything grounded at all in reality? This theory claims that aliens might have traveled from the moon or other places to visit the Earth and hidden themselves among us. They traveled from the moon to Earth. Brother, that's like a walk in the scale of the cosmos. We would have seen them do that. Magical cryptoterrestrials. These beings are like earthbound angels having magical rather than technological relationships with humans, like folklore creatures like fairies and elves. Isn't Harvard supposed to be prestigious? Is this in the paper? Or are they just going over all kinds of potential theories? Fairies and elves? The primary weakness of the theory is its perceived oddity, especially for those accustomed to conventional scientific explanations. You mean logic? The primary weakness. As if there's any strengths to it. Other than, like, I want to believe in this, so maybe it's possible. The researchers admitted that their research was likely to be regarded as skeptically by most scientists, but it urged the community to consider their claim in a spirit of epistemic humility and openness. What fucking research? Scrolling through Tumblr? Like, what? Where's the actual paper? All right, I'm reading the actual paper now. This is ridiculous. Now I've got to see. I did not want to bother reading this paper, but whatever. Oh, here we go. From the Human Flourishing Program. What is this? Okay, let's start here. What is the Harvard Human Flourishing Program? That sounds like MK Ultra, except you're brainwashing college kids into being fucking idiots. The Human Flourishing Program, Harvard University. It's integrating knowledge across disciplines. Knowledge, huh? Fairies and elves. Founded in 2016, the Human Flourishing Program at Harvard aims to study and promote human flourishing. I love that. Please define human flourishing. What does that mean? Like, I'm flourishing by opening magic cards because it fills me with a sense of satisfaction. Would that classify as human flourishing? And to develop systematic approaches to the synthesis of knowledge across disciplines. This is just an absolute nothing statement. That's just buzzword for buzzword's sake. Many topics that are fundamental to human well-being, such as happiness itself, virtue, religious community, meaning, and purpose, have traditionally been viewed as principally falling within the purview of the humanities, often of philosophy or theology. However, robust empirical research literature of these topics is now developed from sociology, political science, economics, education, psychology, medicine, public health, and other empirical sciences. The program's research contributes to the broad question of how knowledge from the quantitative social sciences can be integrated with that of the humanities and questions of human flourishing and how best to carry out the synthesis of knowledge across disciplines. Hopes to bring greater unity to empirical social sciences and humanities. This actually told me nothing. You told me nothing with this. I came into this not knowing what this Human Flourishing Program aimed to do and how, and I'm leaving not knowing what it aims to do or how. Our research. Promotion of flourishing. It sounds like a cult. Promotion of flourishing. The Promotion of Flourishing project seeks to develop and evaluate properties of new measures of human flourishing, drawing upon happiness and life satisfaction, mental and physical health, meaning and purpose, character and virtue, and close social relationships. Alright, so this is the Human Flourishing Program. Your guess is as good as mine. Now, back up. What the fuck do aliens have to do with human flourishing? Magical fairies and elves? How does that fall into this department? The crypto-terrestrial hypothesis, a case for scientific openness to a concealed earthly explanation for unidentified anomalous phenomena. Thank you. Yeah, this is the one. Then we explore over 5 sections, limits to historical and geological knowledge, traces of lost civilization, traces of underground civilization, traditions around magical crypto-terrestrials, and UAP-related activity considerations, and UAP-related activity underground, underwater, and nearby, i.e. the moon. We conclude by noting that across these various considerations are actually 4 distinct CTH, whose merits we briefly consider. We recognize these CTHs may rightly be regarded skeptically by most scientists, but argue they nevertheless should not be ruled out and deserve consideration in a spirit of... okay, let me see. There better be some fucking banger evidence. Show me some evidence about the magical fairies being aliens or whatever. It's all just complete fucking speculation, based on nothing. The ideas canvassed thus far, while not generally accepted by contemporary natural science paradigms, nevertheless still fit somewhat within their rough boundaries. Aliens on the ocean floor or subterranean hominids would be highly surprising but not genuinely metaphysically revisionary in any strong sense, and essentially just involve extrapolating from activities in which we humans already undeniably engage, from flying spacecraft to living in caves. What? This is nothing. It's just straight up nothing. We can't rule out the possibility that there are some magical crypto-terrestrials on the ocean floor. I mean, I fucking guess. I guess. Just like we can't rule out the possibility I shit my pants in the next 5 minutes. Like, it's super possible. Like, I could. I don't think I will. Like, I'm very confident I won't. But I guess we can't fully rule it out. It's just a statement that means nothing. Oh my god. Future human time travelers was just dropped in here with a source there. We're talking about fucking John Teeter again? Fucking time travelers and interdimensional beings? Is there warp drives in the paper? You know what? I'm going to control F warp drive. No. No warp drives, but there are Russian warplanes engaged with UFOs. Oh god, if warp drives came up, I would have blown a gasket. There, I'm not gonna just keep fishing through this. How odd. How odd. This dude's paper seems like it's his D&D campaign notes. So fucking true. Yeah. We need a deeper dive. A red thread. On that one Harvard paper. I have to... So, one thing I learned is that you can kind of publish anything. Well, not you as like just some random goober. But things will just get published without actually being fully peer-reviewed. So it doesn't necessarily constitute like real legitimate backing. You can kind of just do it. Have you heard of Daryl Enka? Not sure if he's crazy or a fraudster, but he claims to be able to communicate with / speak to an alien named Bashar. Bashar, huh? I'm unfamiliar with the cosmic entity known as Bashar, but I'd like to get familiar with them. Messenger of good news. Bashar, how to attract anything into your life by going gamma state. Huh?
Many of you are familiar with some of the different frequency states of your and you know that...
Yeah, 93.3 the hits. Yeah, I know those frequencies.
Different kinds of modalities, different kinds of perspectives.
So this is Bashar talking to us right now, right? I'm guessing he's in his channeling stance. He's got like the TN tri-beam going with his hand, so I'm assuming this is the alien Bashar speaking to us through Daryl.
Many of you are also not familiar with the idea called the gamma state, which is between...
Did you just fart? Was that Bashar or Daryl that tooted?
Which is between 40 and 100 cycles
Man, just shat himself.
In your brain.
Cosmically. Quantumly.
In the typical channeling state. And this particular vibration allows you to experience in the neurological net of your brain more cohesiveness, more acceleration, more connection, more synchronization.
A lot of good buzzwords here, Bashar.
While also simultaneously allowing certain neural pathways to actually close down. That is the gamma state. Also typically called the channeling.
Reading comments always make... Like, this is all well and good. If you want to pretend to channel an alien and just spout a bunch of gobbledygook, all power to you. But it's the comments that actually just make me feel so sad. This resonates with me very much. Bashar says out loud what has been running in my head all along. Thank you for confirming that I am receiving the right information from my higher self. Oh my god, he's been teaching us how to access flow state all this time, which is something I've wanted for a long time. On top of that, he's saying flow state is the key to manifestation. Wow. It's like he's saying to a kid the key to life is to eat cake. Lots and lots of cake. Perhaps maybe I just don't understand the gamma state. Maybe I need to lock into flow state and then I'll be able to dunk on a 10-foot hoop. Perhaps I'm not being receptive to the wisdom of Bashar, the cosmic being. Wait, Danica Patrick has a YouTube channel? And she interviewed Daryl and Bashar? What in the world? What in the world? Bashar predicts humanity's coming great shift in 2024. Prepare yourself now. Bashar Sedana workshop. Oh my god, he goes in front of a class?
Hi everyone.
Hey.
Someone who's lost in the song, an actor who becomes the part, in essence, is in a channeling state. But in that state, you can also access other portions of your own consciousness. You can access...
Oh, so Bashar lives inside of him.
Portions of information from throughout the universe.
Jekyll and Hyde style.
And make connections with other beings, other dimensions, what have you, depending on
how
you wish to focus the idea of that channel.
He's interdimensionally traveling.
For me, this began... I received what I experienced to be a telepathic connection from Bashar and his people.
Okay.
In that one instant, an actual memory came back of having made an agreement with Bashar to do this before this life.
Okay.
And I understood in that moment that the UFO had been shown to me on purpose to get me to go in the direction I needed to go, so that by the time it was time for me to fulfill that agreement I had made, I would be ready. And
it's almost like the Rocco's Basilisk paradox. Very cool. Daryl, this is incredible stuff. What was the agreement? You'd agree to be his vessel so he could be a motivational speaker on Earth? That seems like a very underwhelming use of this cosmic being's powers. You're telling me that Bashar decides to use his abilities to just tell people to brush their teeth and eat well? And, like, have a positive mindset? That seems like a complete waste. Look at his website and his store. He's written 200 books since the 200 books since the 1980s. Jesus Christ, Bashar. You should show your dad this video. My dad doesn't believe in any of this shit. My dad just believes in the aliens building the pyramids. I don't know what to tell you. That's like the one, that's pretty much it. Like, this kind of shit he would absolutely laugh at. He wouldn't text me being like, Charlie, you hear what Bashar said today about our horoscopes? Isn't that some shit? Like, that. My dad doesn't believe in that. Can Bashar take over like Sukuna? I don't think so. I think so. He was describing the channeling state. I think he needs to get into the zone. And if he's not in the zone, I don't think Bashar has like a door to get there. I don't think the alien planet is sending their best. Yeah, maybe Bashar is kind of like a dweeb on his homeworld. But to us, well, not to us. To Daryl, he's super cool.
Bashar is really another entity, or whether it's a portion of my own consciousness or whatever. The altered state is real. The information seems to have the ability to help people do what they need to do to make the kind of changes they need to make in their lives. And for that reason, I figured that's reason enough to go ahead and see where this goes.
I didn't expect that. He's like, oh, so it could be an alien, an interdimensional being, or it could just be some part of my subconscious while I'm conscious. No, I like the channeling community. There was another channeler I used to watch frequently. God, what was his name? He was the one that would channel the Yael. I'll just do that. He was the one that was like, you will send your best and brightest to school this morning. It's a very good day for learning. Blasting at you live from the Yael headquarters. That guy? Who was that? Does anyone remember? No, this isn't the guy. It was an older guy. Yael were very talkative through a bunch of different channelers, but there's one in particular I'm referring to, and I can't remember his name. No, it is him. He made a rap song about them called Bringing in the Yael. Thanks for your sub, Kev. I don't think it is, though. He was much older, unless the Yael de-aged him.
We are of Ashtar Command. We are of the Pleiadians. We are of the Pleiadian civilization. Of the Pleiadian consciousness.
Billionaire Boys Club. Isn't that Kevin Spacey's movie?
Move through these ripples of time-space as your civilization, as your solar system moves into a new era of the galaxy, a new area of the galaxy, and a new era.
We move to a new area of the galaxy?
The idea is that there are time fields, time-space equations.
Wonderful message. It repeated everything I've been seeing in my meditation. In your meditations, you've been seeing that we're changing the area of where we're located in the galaxy. That would cause such an immense change in daily life as we know it. That would be immediately recognizable. That couldn't just happen without us knowing. Oh, here we go. Bringing in the Yael music video with footage of Yael ship. Wait, this is huge. He's got footage from inside of their spacecraft?
Bringing in the Yael, bringing in the Yael, our family from the stars, on earth they will dwell. Bringing in the Yael, bringing in the Yael.
The kind of music to throw your ass in a circle to.
Bringing in the Yael, bringing in the Yael to get this party popping.
I feel like I've actually heard this before. I think you're right.
Rocking, and you know it's a boat that desperately needs to be rocked. We may all come together, there will go the shadow government. And I know you're thinking retribution, but it'll be different. Let me clear up this confusion. Cause the
whoa!
It's gonna be love. We ain't gonna give nothing but kisses and hugs.
Yeah. Kiss and hug them.
And then
yep.
extension of you. I know it's hard to discard the old ways of war, but see it through. Cause there ain't no ours. We bringing in the Yael.
It actually might be the same guy. I could be misremembering. I thought he was much older. Because I'm pretty sure I've heard that song. That definitely opened some neural pathways that Yael wanted closed in my brain. Extra two. Oh, this is a classic. This one's a classic. Teen girl abducted by praying mantis alien. Ancient alien. I've got to send that to my dad. My dad loves ancient aliens. How the fuck? Really, Dad? A girl abducted by a praying mantis alien? Ancient aliens. Aliens in disguise. Warn researcher. We've taken many humans. God damn it. Channeling the ninth dimensional Pleiadian collective. Interview with extra dimensionals. Here we go.
Ah, yes. Hello, dear. This is the Ninth Dimensional Pleiadian Collective, and it is a pleasure and an honor to have the opportunity to connect with you. So,
nice to meet you.
In a short time today, we think we're going to cover a pretty lengthy or a pretty substantial amount of ground. So we're very, very excited. So thank you for the opportunity to connect.
Absolutely. What's very interesting to me is all of these like ninth dimensional beings that are able to be channeled through these goobers are always just on standby. It's like they're waiting to be channeled. They must be like maybe interns of the other ninth dimensional Pleiadian society. Like they just have to sit around like fucking phone operators waiting for some human to channel them. That sounds like so boring. Yeah, just actually channeling a call center. Why does no one ever channel like a really aggressive alien? Or like a really cool one, like, hey, sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm fucking 5 3-titted alien babes. Call back in a moment. And then break connection. Nothing ever like that. It's always like, oh, it's such an honor to be speaking with all of you on Earth. This is a ninth dimensional Pleiadian collective reporting in live. What do you want to know? You need to watch Daryl connect to Bashar. It's hilarious. I just watched Daryl connecting to Bashar. Or does he have like a ritual for it? Alright, he's jacking into the upside down. Assuming athletic stance. Oh, good crack.
Sorry.
No apologies. Do what you need to do to get the aliens on the horn. Oh! Picked up a bad frequency there. Oh shit! We're losing him! He's going too deep! Bashar, let this man go! Where's the holy water? That actually sounds like Darth Vader's mask. Holy shit. What cool noises. Now, if he actually starts levitating, then I'll be impressed. No!
Boy, I'll say good day to you this day of your time.
Hey!
How are you all?
Don't yell at me, Bashar. What the fuck, man?
All right, I will take that as an okay.
Does he have an accent?
First of all, we would like to thank each and every one of you individually, and all of you together collectively.
I love how he put on an accent for Bashar this time, but then later on he got rid of it. He's like, I don't want to do that anymore. Bashar just lost his accent. His dialect, he outgrew. The old Yael guy you were thinking of is Sean Swanson. Is it? Hey, it's my boy. I think this is him, right? Yeah.
And the idea of, from your perspective, not of Earth, but human beings.
Yeah.
In
See,
that
I knew
sense,
it.
Very
I knew it.
similar in appearance to that then that you are familiar with Earth humans in your planet. We then are of another planetary location, and in that we actually have an origination of more.
Why do the Yael talk like that? It's that time again where I start gushing about aliens. It's one of my favorite topics to discuss. It's the one I get most heated about on stream and have the most absurd conversations with chat on stream about. And yesterday, there was a massive UAP congressional hearing that had some very well-established individuals, some very high-ranking individuals that were making testimonies under oath about UAPs and government divisions, as well as general information about things relating to UAPs and the government. It's all very interesting, especially because it's coming from people who have real merit here. It's like substantial credibility for the individuals that have come forward under oath to speak on these things. It's not like they just grabbed random nobodies, right? They didn't go out there and find Jericamo Sloppenheim, who goes to the congressional hearing talking about how the green guys from space probed his chocolate starfish. This is very buttoned up people that have come forward to talk about these things and blow the whistle on UAP departments, even talking about how some people were injured during UAP retrieval programs, and it is fascinating. I haven't had the chance to talk to my father about all of this, whom all of you know is the preeminent expert on anything extraterrestrial. He is the world's best when it comes to anything alien related. I'm sure right now he's hunkered down, doodling away, crunching numbers, theorizing things, all from these new testimonials that have come forward. But I think it's important to note that they don't present any, physical evidence. The evidence that gets presented here about the UAPs and everything is testimonial, which is real evidence, but I don't want anyone coming into this expecting them to wheel out the corpse of the fucking Martian Manhunter or something, or have an alien smoking a cigarette talking about his time in deep space and his journey to get to Earth. That doesn't happen. Instead, they are talking about departments and different things that have been going on for a while in regards to non-human crafts. And one of the biggest ones is about the Immaculate Constellation program, which is now fully available for anyone to go out there and read, which I think is a very cool thing to do. And also there was this moment. Now I learned about it on stream last night, so I didn't get to do a huge deep dive on stream, but this morning I spent quite a bit of time going over a lot of the big moments, and this one really stood out to me.
Has there been any, to your knowledge, any communication with a non-human life form?
So the term communication is a bit of a trick word because there's verbal communication like we're having now. The problem is you also have nonverbal communication. And so I would say definitively yes, but from a nonverbal meaning, when a Russian reconnaissance aircraft comes into U.S. airspace, we scramble 2 F-22s, and we are certainly communicating intent and capability. I think the same goes with this. We have these things that are being observed over controlled U.S. airspace, and they're not really doing a good job hiding themselves. They're making it pretty obvious they have the ability to even interfere with our nuclear equities and our nuclear readiness.
That's pretty big, considering this is all under oath. And this is someone who was once a counterintelligence operative for the government. This isn't just some random, fucking weirdo in their basement who's locked themselves away feeding into delusions. This is someone that did have a pretty powerful position, at least as I understand it, and many others who came forward here, the same. They all had positions that have real merit for what they're talking about. So it is a big deal to have these testimonials. Now, as I discussed on stream, I still believe aliens are absolutely out there in the universe. Those slimy weasels, I know they're out there having a hoot and a holler, but I truly, sincerely do not believe they have ever been to this little fucking space rock. I just don't. I just think it is so unbelievably unlikely, and if they ever did visit us, we would never know because their technology would be so far beyond our comprehension, and there's no way we'd be able to actually even see it at any point, let alone retrieve some kind of crash. The odds of them crashing in here, there's a higher chance that I get a growth spurt in my 30s. It's just so unlikely. Now, I don't believe anyone during the congressional hearing was lying under oath. Absolutely not. I have no doubt that everyone that was testifying and giving their statements was being 100% truthful. I believe all the departments are real departments. I believe all the programs are real programs, all of that they spoke about. I believe in this case, they believe that there was a real nonverbal communication with a non-human entity. But there's no physical evidence that was presented. There's nothing that was presented that convinces me that, oh, it really was aliens. I know they're being truthful. Like, I'm very confident in that, but that doesn't mean that it's absolutely aliens. For example, this statement about, like, definitively, yes, we have had nonverbal communication with non-human entities. Well, we also thought that back in the 70s with the WOW signal. And there's still a lot of people who believe the WOW signal is irrefutable proof of intelligent life out there, but I just think there's more evidence to suggest that it isn't. There's a lot of other explanations for what the WOW signal really is. Like, just because he believes that there was 100% definitive communication with a non-human entity doesn't mean that that's what it was. There could be something else to explain it, and since we weren't presented with any of what that is, it's now just, okay, I guess I have to assume it was aliens because he believes it's aliens, you know? It's just hard to get me to 100% say, like, yes, it's aliens. I desperately want to. I would be extremely happy to be proven wrong about my take that aliens have never visited us. But at the moment, there just still isn't that proof that gets me there and convinces me of that. But hopefully this is the start of more and more conversations and more information about UAPs and the government's involvement with UAP programs and departments. Maybe we can get some more declassified information and evidence of anything of non-human origin. That would be extremely exciting. If that information and that content exists, I would love for that to start being shared, and this seems like a good step in that direction if all of it truly is of non-human origin. So hopefully this is just the first of many UAP breakthroughs. Did you watch the UAP Congress hearing today? Apparently it was earth-shattering. The UAP thing was today? I'll definitely take a peek. I feel like if this actually was groundbreaking, my dad would have called me ASAP with a big "I told you so."
Live for us on Capitol Hill. Joe, you were in the room for that more than 2-hour hearing. What did you learn?
Aliens are real. You won't believe it. And they want to suck my dick right now.
If these technologies are not made by any government, who's making them? Private companies, or are you implying they are crafted by a non-human intelligence?
No, my buddy Eric makes them in his garage.
That's precisely why we're here. The problem is that, temporally speaking, over decades, not just the last 10 years, before, to put this in perspective,
Are these private companies you're implying, or is this non-human intelligence?
It may be both.
Okay.
When it comes to Blue Force technology.
What? Maybe both. Like they're working together, or like there's different UAPs? I don't think they could both be true, right? They're private company aliens. Oh, of course, yeah. What's next? You gonna tell me the aliens unionized or something? Yeah, whatever. Man, I wish they just had 3 titties.
Okay. Are you read into secret UAP crash retrieval programs?
We would have to have a conversation in a closed session, ma'am. I signed documentation 3 years ago that restricts my ability to discuss specifically crash retrievals.
It's like the Suicide Squad. They got like that thing in their neck gonna blow his head off if he talks about it.
And what is in the book is what I was told I'm allowed to talk about.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs, yes or no?
Yes.
That's not, well, that doesn't necessarily mean they were successful. That just means they might have seen something and then tried to go get it and reclaim it, believing that it could be a UAP. And then what they found could have very well been just my buddy Eric's man-made doohickey. But that would be cool if they have retrieved some.
Were they designed to identify and reverse engineer alien craft, yes or no?
Yes.
So those 2 yeses right there at the end, very important there. Now, just shortly after that hearing, that was Congresswoman Nancy Mace chairing.
I mean, it's cool to hear, but that's not surprising. I don't think aliens have ever visited Earth. I've made that very clear. I know aliens are out there. I think it's unlikely that we're the only intelligent life. I just don't think they've ever been here. I truly don't. But it's not surprising me to hear, like, I'm assuming it's true because he's under oath, that they had like a program to go retrieve it and try and like reverse engineer it. that doesn't mean that it ever found or produced anything, right? Like, I've had times where I've gone out trying to get laid. I didn't get laid. Shit, I didn't meet anybody. You know? Like, it's you know, you can have those plans, you can try and do those things. It doesn't necessarily mean that it worked. But I think the question should be, have they ever retrieved anything of extraterrestrial origin? Because you can have a department dedicated to reverse engineering it if it's ever retrieved. The question should really just be, have we ever actually gotten anything of extraterrestrial origin? That's what I want an answer to, and some evidence of.
Yes.
See, that's not confirmation they ever got one. Again, that is a program that would aim to retrieve them, if there was any. Like, I feel like there's millions, like, we have a fucking Space Defense Force program, right? They haven't fought off any alien invaders, I'll tell you right now. Apparently, the biggest bombshell during this hearing was documents regarding the Immaculate Constellation program, which is a secret UFO retrieval program the Pentagon is running. They just released them online for everyone to read. Ooh. United States Department of Defense and the intelligence community are withholding information about anomalous phenomena from Congress. It's a testimony from Michael Schellenberger. I do believe we probably have plenty of programs for that. Like, there's no way this guy's lying, not under oath. No shot. I definitely do think there are programs for, like, retrieval of UAPs or, like, any kind of investigation into it, reverse engineering if they ever find one. I just don't think it's ever happened. I don't think there's ever been a alien spacecraft that has ended up here. You don't think UFOs exist at all? I think it is so unbelievably like main character syndrome type shit to think that somehow aliens, if they have faster than light travel or wormhole traveling capabilities, would somehow just crash on our fucking tiny little planet. That would be so unbelievably unlikely because it's incomprehensible to us the technology that they would already have in order to even make it this far. Like, that's so unlikely. And for us to catch a glimpse of them is even more unlikely. If they made it here and we'd somehow see them in a fucking Tic Tac, that's unbelievably unlikely. So the witness is lying? Brother, how many times I gotta say it? No, I don't think they're lying at all. They're talking about programs. I have no doubt these programs exist. Just like we have our Space Defense Force program. But we're not defending the Earth from anything right now. We're not fighting off the fucking Tyranids out there with the space defense program America's got. They exist, I have no doubt. I have no doubt about it. They're definitely not lying. Tic Tac video, probably the most credible we have. Yep, that and the other one from the ship. Those are the two UAP videos that have the least amount of explanation for. What do you think about the theory that aliens created us and are coming now because we're close to ending ourselves? What? I think that's a theory that's based on nothing but someone who really likes anime. If life is found on other moons in our solar system, would people finally stop thinking we are special and we're literally the point of the universe? So for the longest time, I always thought if aliens ever visit us, if aliens ever have visited us and we finally reveal it, I always thought that'd be like a unifying moment because in pretty much every sci-fi property ever, when people speak of humanity or Earth, it's always like one united front of humans. And I always thought if aliens were discovered, that would be that unifying moment where like everyone on Earth comes together. And now I'm 100% sure that would never fucking happen at all. That would just never happen. That just caused so much fucking chaos now. We'd take their oil. Yeah. Man, we would butt fuck them so hard if we could. How disappointed would you be if aliens just looked like humans but with pointy ears or glowing eyes? There is not a single alien design that would actually disappoint me. The only one that would disappoint me is if aliens looked like what that researcher said dudes are going to look like from gaming in 20 years. If they looked like this, then I'd be mad. But anything shy of this, I'm going to be blown away. I'm going to be so happy.